We're back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I should probably turn the microphone down. Actually, it might be a little bit hot. Just a yeah, it's definitely a little bit hot. That should be about right there, maybe. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be much louder than that. What a start to a stream! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Levi Clay, and I am back. Cleaning my keyboard. I'm back again for another listening party stream. I'm on a little bit early, 8 minutes earlier than planned, but such is life. We are over here in the UK. We are currently on lockdown now. Technically, we are quarantined. We have been told not to leave the house. Told that we are not allowed to leave the house. So business as usual for me. Still just stuck in the house. Sounds coming out anywhere else. Should be okay then. Bass boosted. Yes. Bass. I turned into Adam Neely's channel there. So we are on lockdown, so I'm just kind of going crazy in the house. Also, like I say, business as usual. Like, I try to avoid leaving the house anyway. But obviously my wife is not used to not leaving the house, so she's not overly happy about it. Such is life, We may have her on for more streams in future because I did that stream with her and it was really popular. People really enjoyed that stream. Well, people clicked the stream. I don't know if they enjoyed it. But I enjoyed her input. It was nice hanging out with her and listening to music, talking about music. But enough about that. Today we are going to be checking out an incredible album, an absolutely incredible album. So this album is, I got this album just after it came out, I think. Maybe. That's about right. After it came out. And at the time, I was completely unaware of Kiko's playing, right? Completely unaware of Kiko's playing. I was working in London, and I went to the Guitar Institute in order to audition. It was a meeting about the idea of attending one of their courses, okay? And while I was there, I saw posters up for a Kiko Loureiro clinic. And I said to James, the admin guy, I said, is there any way that I could attend that? And he said, yeah, I'll put your name on the list. And I went down and saw him play and was blown away by how good he was. Just absolutely blown away by how good he was. I got to meet him and I bought the album and I bought the tab book. We'll talk about that. And this is an incredible album. It just is simply an incredible album. I did a video a couple of years ago talking about my top 5 instrumental guitar records that you should check out. Sort of underrated instrumental guitar records. And this was my number 1. And when I thought about doing that video, immediately this just jumped in there as the obvious number 1. It was just an obvious choice to me. Because it's that good. And not only is it that good, but it's criminally underrated. It's criminally under-listened to. Having said that, I posted about this stream on my Facebook today, and a lot of people commented saying that's such a great album. I've not listened to it in a while, but it's an incredible record. I was surprised by that. I didn't expect as many people to have listened to it as evidently they have. Anyway, right, so we've got a couple of things to do. Let me grab my phone and double check some details on this. Of course, get active in those comments. I'm going to read those comments shortly. Yeah. He isn't. Yeah, so Kiko is the guitar player in Megadeth currently, and we're definitely going to talk about Megadeth. We're definitely going to talk about his work with Megadeth. Anyway, so yeah, few not real changes to the format of the stream, though I do have a question. I have a question for you guys, right? So thus far, for these listening party streams, I have been putting the album on Spotify, like this. That's not Spotify. That's my emails. You don't want my emails. You want my Spotify. Way too many emails there. We've been listening to the album like this, okay? And when doing this, I've been listening to the album from start to finish, okay? From start to finish. And it's just been playing. And then I'm talking about it at the end. How would you feel about me playing it and then pausing it after each song so I can talk with you guys about the track and then counting down and playing the next song? That's just an idea. that occurred to me. I thought it might be a nice idea, and yeah, there's potential for that to be something that can be. So yeah, other than that, let's do the other the shilly side of business. So as I say, I'm on lockdown currently. We are in quarantine. Income is disappearing for everyone, so I will be plugging my social support networks, those types of things tonight. First one is always going to be huge thank you to my supporters over on Patreon, and you know what? An extra special thank you to Chris Motes. So Chris Motes, his name isn't on there. Chris Motes is currently signed up as one of my top tier supporters. He is a top tier sponsor of my channel right now. And when he signed up for that today, I nearly cried because we are definitely struggling. And I don't want you to feel bad about me when I say that. Everybody is struggling right now. I have always gone out of my way to make sure that I can provide for my family. And this has, knocked us for six because there's a lot of uncertainty. So for someone to supporting me through this is incredible. So Chris Motes, thank you so much for your support, bud. We will talk over the coming weeks and we will get you on and we'll do some cool stuff. But yeah, you don't need to be a big swinging dick like Chris Motes. You can support me over there for as little as $1, and it is of massive support. You can also head on over to Amazon, have a look for one of my books. Just look for Levi Clay. There is a ton of books over there, and here's the shilliest of all. Check that. Look at that. In order to respect copyright owners, I cannot stream their music in my video. The idea here is that we all stream the music together and talk about it. So check out the link to Spotify in the video description. Your interaction makes these streams what they are. So please comment along and chat with your fellow viewers. Enjoy the stream, support my work. While these streams will always be free, I'm not going to lie and pretend we aren't hurting right now. Please don't go without. Look after you and your family. But if you have a little extra to help me and mine through this lockdown, it's very much appreciated. Links below. I won't read it again, but you get the idea. Let's bring my face back up. Right, let me read some comments. We've got a ton of great comments here. So yeah, bass boosted, -7 sharp 5. Finally an album you know. Good. That's cool, man. This is it's a great record, right? Gustavo de Souza Oliveira, an amazing guitarist. He is an incredible guitarist. Quarantined in DC. Wow. What's it like over in the States at the moment? Are you getting a lot of quarantining? I can't imagine how it must be in the States. I don't know what the situation with healthcare is, but I'm getting ill. So I'm seeing Gustavo is then commenting in, would that be Portuguese? Maybe? I'm making an assumption there. Bastian S, hello there. Never listened to Kiko's solo album before. Oh man, you are going to fucking love this album. This album is so unbelievably good. I promise. Mighty V, yes, I did start early. He is in Megadeth. Good to see Richard Henry online, one of my Patreon supporters, and drinking a bottle of Balvenie. I wanted to do the same myself. You're going to hate me for this, right? I drink my whiskey with ice. I like my whiskey. I like a single malt whiskey, and I like a block of ice in there. Not because I necessarily like it watered down, but because I like it cold. I like my whiskey to be cold. And I don't have any ice in the house. So while I do have several bottles of Balvenie kicking around, I don't have any ice. And because we're on quarantine, I didn't like the idea of going out to the shops to buy ice because that didn't seem like an essential use of my time. Or an essential reason to leave the house. Gustavo says Kiko uses a lot of Brazilian music in his songs, and he absolutely does. And, hearing it for the first time was unbelievable. I'd never heard anything like it. My worldly experience in music was very limited back then, and to come in and see someone doing some of this stuff I'd never seen anything like it. Now I know, of course, a lot of people do those types of things. -7 Shot 5's honestly, this album has many amazing songs, but also some that you really dislike. Okay. But yeah, which album doesn't? You know what? I may find the same. I've not listened to this album from start to finish in a good few years. So who knows? Maybe I'll hate this album now, but I'm pretty sure that I love this album still. But with no lyrics this time, we won't be unsynchronized with me singing. Yeah, I apologize for that. While doing all those Aussie streams, obviously I was talking a lot about about his vocals because the vocal album, and I love singers. And especially with Ozzy, I love the vocal harmonies, like all about that. So I just can't help myself when I'm driving and I hear a good vocal harmony. I just can't help but sing it or work it out, see what's going on. Yeah. Um, here's one of my. I'm gonna. I'll. Hang on, I'm gonna do this. Just need to message Joseph Alexander. Joseph Alexander has just sent me a text. He wants to send me some whiskey rocks. Yeah, cool. I love Joseph Alexander. He's a top tier guy. One of the best guys. Good-hearted guy. So yeah, I won't be singing over this one. I'll try not to, at least. I'll certainly try not to. We'll see though. Honestly, either that or a countdown to each song. Yeah, fair enough. I only know one song, No Gravity. Oh man, honestly, there are some seriously good songs in this album. I always kind of think of this album as like there's definitely like a Joe Satriani vibe to it, in that his playing is so unbelievably melodic, almost sickly melodic at times. Like you feel like you're in a Pixar film. Some of his melodies are that perfect, but he's extremely expressive, wonderful vibrato. Yeah. Paul McEwen says that he took a break from playing the Division 2 to listen. The game is so close to home. Yeah, that's a good point, man. That is absolutely a good point. I played the original Division. I have not played the Division 2. I didn't like the original Division, to be honest. I'm not an online gamer. I don't like playing online at all. So I tried to play a lot of it solo. I did play a little bit with my dad, and I just found that all of the enemies were just bullet sponges, and it just sucked me right out of what I'm looking for in a game like that. I want to play games stealthily. I want to be good with my weapons, and I want to be able to deal with people. But when you're come up against a boss type enemy, and you're just unloading clip after clip after clip into them, and they're just not dying, you're like, well, this is just silly, really, isn't it? And you might have said, oh, this is a bit silly because this is a game about a pandemic, but look where we are now. Yeah, -7 Sharp 5 is horrified by the whiskey advice. Oh, Alvaro says that we were just told to stay at home. Basically, shelter in place is being enforced here in Texas. Crazy. Get the granite balls, stick them in the freezer. Really good. Don't water it down. Yeah, so I'm trying to think if I've ever actually used like proper whiskey stones. I don't think I have, but evidently Joseph's going to send me some, and I'll give it a go. Who knows? Maybe I'll find out that I do like my whiskey watered down. Alvaro makes a great point. Like, it will water it down, maybe too much, by the end. And the secret there is drink it fast. If I'm completely honest, my favourite, if I say that I'm a single malt guy, I am a single malt guy, but in a perfect world, I would be sitting and drinking old fashions. The old fashioned, the cocktail. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Drink those all day. Hello, Benjamin. How's it going, buddy? Josh, one of your favourite by him is Dream Circles. Is that on this record? This record. So, of course, he has a couple of other albums, Universo Inverso. I listened to that a fair amount. That one's a lot more fusion. Dream. Full Blast. I've only listened to Full Blast once, if I can. That. Still talking about Kiko? I have no idea. There you go. Fundamental changes in guitar. Joseph Alexander is online. Everyone give your love to Joseph. Joseph is the man. Joseph is the man that put me through, through all of this. And although sales are at an all-time low, it's incredible that you guys have ordered as many books as you have over the last few years. So thank you very much again. Right. Let me keep going. Noise gate again, mate, if you go too far back from the mic. Sorry. I'll try and stay on the mic. I will try and stay on the mic. Let's be realistic. You don't really want to hear me speak to you. You just want to listen to it. Incredible playing. Not sure what album it's on. Brazil here. There must be some Brazilians in. There must be. Oh, wow. Comments are coming in thick and fast. Zach, totally listened to this album after your last stream when you mentioned it. Tapping him into My Dark Tranquility was the introduction to this album. Yeah, I saw him do that live and was like, wow, I've never seen anything like that. There you go. There's some Brazilians online. Yes, this pleases me. Zero, fantastic album. Haven't heard this one in years, but it brings back great memories. It's totally not Gypsy, though. Did I see the Gypsy solo by Rocky Grosset that you put on the Facebook page? No, I haven't seen that yet. You're talking to Fine, that makes sense. I've re-enabled the noise gate. Yeah, the noise gate is there. Trust me, you do not want this noise gate to be off because the microphone's right on my face and I'm a loud breather, funnily enough. So you don't you don't want that while we're listening to music. I don't actually breathe like that. You get the idea. Yeah. Joseph makes a great point though. There's nothing wrong with water and whiskey. Down brings out a whole new set of notes. There's the correct way to drink whiskey. I was told this by a professional whiskey taster. The correct way to drink whiskey is however you like whiskey. And yeah, that's absolutely true. So don't judge people. Trying to remember if I've listened to this before. Right, noise gate goes crazy. Okay, so people are moaning about the noise gate. Am I not hot enough on the gate? Shall I turn my volume up a little bit like that? I'm running into it a little bit hotter now. That should be better. Right. Yeah, thank you, Joseph. One of my favorite instrumental albums. Awesome. Should we get on with this album then? Should we listen to it? Oh no, I need to just briefly talk about Kiko. So of course, Kiko Loureiro, played with the band Angra, and also now is the lead guitar player in the band Megadeth. He's got some solo albums out. He's got some tab books out. I think that he's got some more tab books coming out. Maybe we'll have him on the channel soon. Wonderful player. The album No Gravity was released in 2005. First solo album by Kiko Loureiro. Kiko recorded it with Mike Tirana on drums. Worldwide release in 2005. There is a songbook and playback CD that are highly sought after by musicians and fans alike. The tab book for this album is not great, but I do have the tab book for this album. So, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool. So that's about it, really. Unfortunately, there's not all that much information because it wasn't a huge release. But interesting to note that Kiko plays guitar, classical guitar, percussion, keyboards, piano, and bass on the album. Mike Tirana, is that Tirana? Yeah. Tirana plays drums on the album. That's it. What an impressive feat. Really kicking ass, playing a lot of music on this album. Shall we get it underway? I'll try not to show you my entire fucking emails again. Try and be a little bit more professional this time. Ready for it? Boom. I've updated my screens. I updated the screen. You can no longer see my taskbar at the bottom, so you don't have to see the 25 million apps that I have open. Oh, yeah. So, okay. Again, if you have just tuned in, I'm not going to be playing this music over the stream. That's important to know. I am not playing the music over the stream. You will need to go to the link in the description and get yourself to this on Spotify or wherever it is that you listen to your music. Could be Apple Music, could be Tidal. Maybe you own this on CD like I do. However you want to engage with this music is absolutely fine. I'm just going to be listening to it and talking while it's playing and talking to you guys about it. So, very, very simple. If you enjoy the stream, support the channel, all of that good stuff, let's get on with the album. So I am going to play the track Inferno, and I am going to do so in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, That's deceptively tricky to play. If I'm completely honest, knowing where this album goes, I don't think this is the best song to have opened the album with, but these chord changes, there's actual chord changes, which is nice. Rasta, are you talking about trying to play this album? A wonderful vibrato. Kiko just has the best vibrato. His articulation of these melodies is wonderful. Tapped harmonics and yeah. Yeah, I've tried to play it. I love these chords. There's a lot going on. There's tons going on. All this new musical information. Spotify is free, Electric Hillbilly. Oh yeah, there's definitely that shrapnel influence on here. Totally Marty Friedman vibes, yeah. This bit's kind of cool. Like a Brazilian Greg Howe. Oh, Rasta Ben, you can guarantee I'm going to do a listening party listening to Act. Guarantee that. His bends are great. They really are. His bending is fantastic. Song ends really abruptly, though. And we're straight into Endangered Species. I'm going to pause it. So, yeah, I do dig the song. Don't get me wrong. There's some really cool musical ideas going on in there, and it jumps around. There's a lot of musical ideas, I should say, a lot of different musical sections. Lots of things happen, which is kind of cool. Again, if you don't like this idea, if you don't like the idea of me stopping the tracks and then talking about them, please do let me know. I'll get a feel for how people like to do these. But yeah, so it is a great song, but you'll kind of see what I mean as we go on. When you listen to like the song Escaping, that is like one of the most perfectly melodic pieces of guitar. And I get what he's done with Inferno because it really kicks off with that picking bit at the start is just outrageous. It grabs your attention. But I just don't think maybe it doesn't have the strongest melodies compared to where we're gonna go. Anyway, endangered species happening in 5, 4, 3, 2. These slides into bends, amazing. Repeat the melody. But then where he takes it. We get that same repeating verse melody, which is kind of cool. Sorry, Benjamin. We go into that same rising melody, building the excitement. Nailed it. Listen to where this goes. Where did that come from? Now, unlike with Ozzy, you can get away with that on this album because this is a progressive type album, right? But trust me, where this goes, you're just going to go, what? What is happening? You slide in sixths. Listen to this. What is this? Someone's Brazilian. Modulate. Pick it up a little bit more. Just perfectly executed. This song's great. I can't dance to anything. So heavy riffs, and they've got that same sixths idea, and then you get the da 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 da, that repeating motif. Now, I don't necessarily think the transition back into the melody is as flawless as it is on the next song, but they do kind of feel like two different songs. But I love that middle section. It just takes you on this journey that it's like, what? Where have we gone? It's so good. It's just one of the most outrageous instrumental guitar records. Again, it ends quite abruptly. Okay, pause the song. Stop it. Pause. Stop. We're not playing the next one. We will go on to it. Yeah, that middle section, the first time I heard that with that, sort of Brazilian inspired, obviously it's not full on Brazilian, but it's got that Brazilian inspired vamp. Lots of syncopation, like really, really cool. Totally love it. Just really fresh, but also combining, that ascending melody in that, if you want to call it a chorus section, just outrageously expressive bends and so perfectly executed. He's just, when I learned to play, I think a lot of learning to play the guitar was about putting your fingers where they had to go in order to make the sounds. And as long as you did what it said in the book and your fingers were in the right place, people couldn't tell you were wrong. And this is obviously so much more than that. When you listen to Kiko play, it's not about putting your fingers where you're supposed to put your fingers. It's how you put your fingers where you put your fingers. The slides into the bends, the how long he holds the bends for, how his vibrato is, the subtle use of the bar. It's beautiful, absolutely fucking beautiful. I like what Paul says here. It could go on Edge of Insanity, but he has his own flavour, and he definitely has his own flavour. So yeah. Right. Escaping. Ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, to me, this is the Satriani song. Richard, this is. I think you could do a banger of a cover on this. Of this. Very Mighty Friedman. I'm not usually crazy on wah, but on this song, he uses it to make the guitar scream. Now make it guitar-y. That minor pentatonic bend, too cool. Just listen to this, the expression. This is like a human voice. You can play this, man. You can totally play this. It kind of bugs me how that lick just ends. It just stops out of nowhere. Okay, so we're building. Where are we going to go over? Where are we going to go? This. Getting a bit progressively more prog. All these beautiful, like, Eric Johnson style voice tries. Oh, listen to it. Right. Just listen to how this builds. We've gone from nothing dynamically as low as it can get. Bo Holdsworth, wonderfully outlining the chords. This is going to build and perfectly transition back into the main melody from that verse from before via some modulations. It is beautiful. There we go. There's a Brazilian. Shreddies. I don't like this lick. There's a legato lick that he does in a second that is a bit over the top, but that whammy bar, beautiful. I don't like this. Very Satriani. But now we're going to build. Tension and resolution. Building. Change key. Change key. Oh, let's give you an outro. Nice strong melody. And to me, a fade out on a song is a sign that a song is too damn fucking good that you never want it to end. I can imagine him playing this in the studio for a further 3 hours. Okay, right, pause it. Stop the music there. Stop the music. I want to pull this up. That song, Escaping, is the most fucking outrageously excellent piece of music that I can think of. Honestly, I think that is one of the best instrumental guitar pieces that's ever been recorded. Listen to how fucking passionate I am about it. I could play that again and I would enjoy it just as much. I enjoy that. I was going to say just as much as the first time I ever heard of it. Right then, I might have even enjoyed it fucking more because I know I was sharing it with you guys. That was absolutely outrageously fucking good. I'm speechless. It's so good. It's so unbelievably over the top. It is so ridiculously over the top, but never goes too far. It never goes too far. Like, outrageous. Like, well done, Kiko. Well done, mate. That is honestly, I could never make an argument for there being a better instrumental guitar thing. You know, if someone says what's instrumental guitar about, and we talk about like these big names come out, you think of Steve Vai and you think of Joe Satriani. Like those are some of the big names that immediately pop to mind. Some people might say like maybe Eric Johnson, or in your more modern school of players, you've got the young like instrumental guitar players like maybe guys like Aaron Marshall, etc. Who I love, by the way. Right, that is where you send people. Again, I often make the example of my mother-in-law. If my mother-in-law said, or my father-in-law, actually, he talks to me about music a lot because he doesn't know anything about music. If he said to me, what's this instrumental guitar thing all about, right? For years and years, I would have said, here's an album, go listen to it. And it would be Joe Satriani, Surfing with the Alien, because I think that's a wonderful crossover album. I think you don't need to be a guitar player to listen to that and get how good that record is. It's just full of really strong melodies, and you don't need to really understand music to connect with it, right? And to me, Escaping by Kiko Loureiro is one of those songs. It is so fucking perfect. From the wah-soaked melody with a really cool bends, unbelievably cool bends, Marty Friedman-esque bends in places. It just builds and builds and builds, and then it gets heavy, and then it breaks down into that really dynamically low section with all the wonderful jazz chord changes or fusion chord changes, and he's just outlining these changes just expertly, really nice phrases. The only part of that song I don't like, as I say, is that one legato lick, which is a bit too Joe Satriani, but then how it just so expertly modulates up through and brings you back to where you were, just builds and builds, and you get that, like that to me, Escaping, when it goes back into that melody after the middle section, that is the pinnacle. That is what a climax should be in a guitar solo. I can't think of a better example of a guitar solo climaxing. So, right, let's move on, because I'm basically climaxing here, am I not? Honestly, my cheeks hurt because of how much I'm smiling. I love that. That is so fucking good. I want to cover it now. Oh, that was good fun. Okay, right. No Gravity. We're going to start No Gravity. And my cheeks genuinely hurt. Okay, No Gravity. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2. Again, very Joe Satriani. Kind of like the palm muted low notes that he puts in that melody. All about melody, though, right? Chorus melody. Those palm muted notes on the like G string, they're just nice. So when I hear this, it's like if you needed to, like the real book. I was going to reach down and grab the jazz real book, but I'm not wearing pants. True story. If you needed to write a real book of instrumental guitar tunes, you'd put this in it. Really nice chord progression, nice melody. I mean, it's definitely a little bit cheesy. Yeah, good. Yeah, okay, Andy Timmons. I see what you mean with that. I like this. Listen to the melody over the top. Very nice. I know Andy Timmons has been on the scene for a very long time. Very long time. Yeah, Andy Timmons was Danger Danger in 1989, and his first solo album came out in 1994. Okay. Oh, pause it. Pause it. So yeah, a nice song, very nice song. Sickly sweet. You know what I mean? Like talking about uh, Ionian. -7.5 I was talking like Ionian, and that song is that. It's just unbelievably sickly sweet Ionian, isn't it? Um, Probably the weakest song thus far, but still not a bad song. You know what I mean? Like you could learn a lot from learning that, and I don't just mean from a melodic perspective. I mean I like learning the chord progression, looking at how the melody complements the chord progression. But yeah, not my favorite. Okay, right. Paudiarana, maybe. I'm butchering pronunciations. Oh, let me check these comments. So yes, I'm talking about Andy Timmons' first album '94. Met him in London when I went down to see Danger Danger on the first UK tour. Yeah, Timmons is a really good player. Right, 5, 4, 3, 2. That really reminds me of something. Everyone needs a bit of 12 string, right? Harmonising the melody. Yeah, upper harmony, cool. This would have absolutely slayed on Shrapnel. I guess the interesting thing to me is when you listen to his music, there's a wonderful blend between the rhythm guitar section and the melodies. The rhythm guitars are always playing something pretty cool. Nice. I think that rhythm guitar part is actually cooler than the melody. Nice. I've just remembered where the payoff for that melody is. It's great. What I assume you're talking about this album, Paul. Like, is very, very busy. Yeah, it could be a bit much for some people. I get that. There you go. That melody. Nice chord progression underneath it. You could learn a lot just from transcribing those chords. Very nice chord progression. I guess, I mean, I grew up listening to really busy guitar albums. So this isn't out of the ordinary for me. Just really enjoy the. I love the harmony. I think that's what it is. What a melody! And by harmony, I mean chords, like the actual harmony of the song, not the the harmonized melodies. And of course, growing up listening to a lot of instrumental guitar in that Satriani vein, when you hear a line like that has a load of chromaticism in it, the only guys that I could really think of in my youth that played chromatic stuff was, like John Petrucci, essentially saying, well, you just take a 3-note string scale and just fill in one of the notes. This was cool. This really twisted my ear when I was younger. Still think it's great. And then we go into that beautiful melody from War. Hits that chord change so well. This is what I mean when I'm talking about some melodies that are just so perfect. This section is just so sickly sweet. Moves through the chords, just beautiful. Yeah. Well, you have to remember Minor 7 Sharp 5. Like, I didn't start listening to Frank Gambale till I went to college. So that would be around the age of 17 or 18 that I first listened to guys like Gambale. I'm talking about when I was 15. I would have heard Kiko around the time that I started listening to guys like Gambale. I wish I had that musical diet when I was younger. I was actually introduced to a bunch of artists that I love now, but I wasn't willing to give them a shot when I was younger because there just wasn't enough of this. I was introduced to like Robin Ford and Larry Carlton and Scott Henderson by all these guys that are really passionate about that thing, which is obviously the thing I'm really passionate about now. And I just remember listening to it and going, yeah, but where's all the shred? Shame that one fades out because he really starts to open up. Right, stop the track. Really starts to open up when he's playing over the outro on that one. But such is life, you know. Sometimes music is a tease, and right there we're being teased. Okay, yeah, nice song. It is a nice song. It's I think potentially Kiko has shot himself in the foot with this album because the song "Escaping" is so good. It's so good that nothing can possibly meet up to it. I just can't see anything meeting up to that song ever. I think Escaping might have ruined music for the rest of the world for all time, because anytime I'm going to listen to any instrumental guitar stuff, I'm going to go, but is it as good as Escaping? I really love that song. Yeah, right. So what have we got here? For whoever doesn't know, you should look up what a pau de arana is. Is not well. Okay, now you say that, I'm going to look that up because I don't mind. That can't be a bad thing. Surely the song is so happy. Okay, so it's like a flatbed truck. It translates to Macaw's perch. Okay, right. Term originates from the habit of tying birds to a pole for sale, where they then hang on for transportation. By analogy, the term has gained two distinct meanings. It can refer to an irregular flatbed truck used to transport migrant workers. Oh, and a torture device developed during the Brazilian military dictatorship. Okay, yep, all right. That's Oh, the more you know, the more you know. Thank you for that input. Okay, so what does La Force de Lame mean? Lame, La Force de Lame. I can't pronounce this stuff. I'm just embarrassing. I'm treating it like it's French, and it's obviously just not. Anyway, I'm going to hit play in 5, 4. Oh, also a torture device. It's like that John 5 album he did. Which one is it? Is it Requiem? Every song on that is named after a torture device. Yeah, so 5, 4, 3, 2. A lot more processed guitar. Those artificial harmonics. Nice. Chord changes. Beautiful chord changes. Yeah. Oh, it is French. Okay, well. I'll look it up. Those chord changes are really nice. It's Italian. Nice melody. I think there's a bit more to those chords than Dream Theater. They're a bit jazzy rather than progressive. Like Phrygian vibe to them. Nice. Yeah, that's what I mean. There's bossa nova-y. Bossa isn't a style that I play very well, but it's something I've absolutely dabbled in over the years. I've listened to, and it's got, oh, what a nice change. Got a sound, you know. Nice. Cool. See, I like that riff underneath. I don't even want to learn the solo. That riff underneath is so nice. Hello? Outrageous. So I'm going to say something quite controversial after this track. Definitely. I like that. That was nice. I like that a lot. Okay, stop the track. Stop the track. So, you know what? Like, don't get me wrong. I am really, really enjoying this album. I'm really enjoying the album, but it's not really a but. It shows how much I've grown as a player, changed as a player. Like when I was younger, every single part of this would really grab me. Whereas now, now I'm getting a little bit older. I tend to find with a lot of the faster lines, I find myself going, does that need to be there? I think the melodies are still as strong as ever, but some of the decoration, some of the runs that are being thrown in to connect them, they are very over the top. And don't get me wrong, that is cool. Like I do like that, but it sometimes feels like you're constantly being punched in the face. Like, here's a lick, here's a lick, here's a lick. It's like, dude, we get it. You are amazing. You're incredible. And I got that very early on. The reason I bring it up is, I guess the fear is that because of all of the crazy guitar playing that's on here, that might be off-putting enough to the people that really could appreciate the melodies that are found here. Because when I was younger, I certainly didn't appreciate the melodies in this song and the harmony nearly as much as I do now. My ears are more developed, you know. Yeah, I'm glad it is what it is, though, you know. There's no fighting with it. It is what it is. I'm glad. It is great for what it is. Right, so let's move on to Tapping Into My Dark Tranquility. I hate songs like this. I hate the cliche name, Tapping Into My Dark Tranquility. It is a multi-finger tapping song. I remember learning like Joe Satriani's Midnight when I was younger. I performed that in school, in front of my entire school. Wow, what a terrible idea that was. This is obviously better than Midnight in terms of what he's doing, but I always take an issue with this touch style guitar thing, and that is it never sounds as good as if you just took the composition that you have here, i.e. the chord changes and the melody, and you just orchestrated that for a band. It very much feels like when you're doing the touch style guitar thing, what you're doing is you're showing what you are capable of. Yeah, you're showing what the instrument can do. And doing this on a 6-string guitar, I'm sure this is played on a 6-string guitar, it's just nowhere near as fleshed out as it would be if you played it or orchestrated it for a band or played it on a piano or even had it played on a Chapman stick. Having said that, it is really impressive what he does on this track. So, listening in 5, 4, 3, 2, to end up with this really compressed guitar tone to get all those notes to pop. These chord changes. Da, 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 da. There's a nice melody in there. And to be fair, when I saw him play this live, when I was, 18 or whatever, blown away. Absolutely blown away. Nice. It's a nice melody that puts over the top. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where there is a really nice melody in there, and it's delicate. But the compression that you get by having to perform that all on the guitar at the same time, the compressor that you're using to even it out, just stops that melody jumping out as much as you maybe like it to. And as good as you are with this hand, and he is good with this hand, you're stronger with this hand because this is what you play your guitar with all the time. So the bass parts, the rhythm underneath maybe feels a little bit overpowering in it. But as I say, that entire touch style guitar thing, like your Stanley Jordans, it's amazing. It is amazing, but it's not something that I never think, you know what I fancy listening to? An album of that. But beautiful piece of music. I'm just not crazy on the execution of it. What do you think, though? Just realised that I've got my face over all your comments, so I can't actually see what's going on. So let's take a look at some of these comments. Oh, I missed a bunch of comments. More DT, Falling into Infinity period, love that riff. Maybe the reason why I didn't like the songs on this album back then is because I began comparing them to Escaping, yeah. His picking always sounds super clean. Can hear each note even in the faster sections. He is very precise. Very, very good. Picking super clean. Time to get your metronome out, yeah. Once again, you're stealing your words. We do seem to have very similar opinions on all of this stuff, man. That's really interesting. Of its time, yeah. Talked about being 15 years old. He's older too. All go back to shred each clinic just to satisfy the older fans. Really just wants to play music and jam bluesy. Yeah, totally true. Strength of the soul. Strength of the soul. Okay, that makes sense. Very Jennifer Batten. Yeah, totally Jennifer Batten. Don't think anyone does two-handed tapping better than Felix Martin. That's a tough one, man. That really is. Felix is really good at what he does. But is anyone better than Stanley Jordan? He's been doing it for a very long time. Very, very long time. I just don't care for the style either way. So, yeah. Stanley Jordan was doing this a long time before most of these guys, yeah. On a Vigier, let's try that again. Vigier, of course. Always imagined that Bumblefoot would still sing at the same time. Yeah, totally. Satriani Day at the Beach. Not a big fan of tapping in general, so I especially don't enjoy a tap song. Yeah, totally. It's like something from Not of This Earth. Oh, hello. Casey Roberts, Humanity. Yeah, where he sings while the complex tapping is happening. I mean, I've talked about ACT and I've talked about Casey Roberts and the Live Revolution. I'm going to do a listening party listening to Parkdale Funk, and Humanity is on there. I've seen a video of Casey playing that, tapping that, and singing that, so I know it can be done. I would love to see someone other than Casey Roberts do that, though. For anyone unfamiliar, Rasta Ben is talking about the song Humanity by Casey Roberts and the Live Revolution. It is on the album Parkdale Funk Two Sides. It's one of my favourite albums of the last 10 years. I highly recommend you check it out. Okay. Going on to Moment of Truth. I'll be playing that in 5, 4, 3, 2. That's what I like, nice crunchy tone. Talk about the production, I guess. Like, I don't think the guitars sound as good as maybe they could. They're not bad, but, just not where they could be. Key change. So melody over the top, but that rhythm part underneath is really cool. I'd rather learn that. Just love his bends. They might have been a bigger influence on me than I think. Yeah. I'm going to say the same thing. That melody over the top is cool, but the riff underneath is cooler. I think you're probably right about that minor 7 sharp 5. The wah instantly makes things sound very satch. Fairness to him, though, he uses the wah well. Like on a phrase like that, I think it takes a lot of skill to be able to play a long picking run like that and have a gradual sweep with the wah. Having that control to play something so, dramatic with your hands, and then slowly sweep with your heel from heel to toe. He uses it really well. Very expressive of it. My issue with the wah is it's too easy to use it to hide your playing. Beautiful. Yep. Octave, harmony. Kind of cool. Same as before. I just think that riff underneath is cooler than the melody. Satriani solo, yeah. Yeah, some guys I've been there. Like, I've totally been there. And I still will go there if I need to. If I need to, like, do some really fast pentatonic playing, I'm probably going to stick some wah over the top of it, cam it up, because then it becomes less about the notes that you're playing and more about the wah. It's about the sound of the wah. From time to time, I get a transcription job in that I have to turn down because there's just too much wah on it, and it's like, I appreciate that you stop the song. I appreciate that you like how it sounds. But it's going to be very, very difficult for you to learn how to get it to sound exactly like that, because it's half of it is about what he plays, but half of it is also about where the wah pedal is in, when he's playing those bits. It's the overall effect that it has, and it often makes it very, very difficult to hear the detail of what's going on with the notes, because it becomes about the wah, it becomes about that sound. So I definitely do like wah, don't get me wrong, but I like it to be used sparingly. I would love to work with a pedal designer on some sort of wah that was, it's very difficult for me to say, because I don't really know what I'm looking for. Like, expressive but subtle, just enough to give, maybe a pedal that has enough movement in it, but the sweep is nowhere near as dramatic as that. I'd play around with it, and see what's right, but you don't want it to overpower the song. Wah's a great way to cut through in a mix, of course, because you immediately lose most of the low end of the guitar because you go into that wah-y sound, and it just cuts through a mix. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I try to avoid using one. In fact, I don't even have one on my board at the moment. I own 4 wah pedals, but there's not one on my pedal board. So yeah, look at that. Like to use the wah to pull out overtones on a bend. Yeah, absolutely. Is his new record going into the style if you were already able to listen to it? I've not listened to his new record yet. Not listened to it yet. Waiting to be sent it. Okay, so Moment of Truth, nice song. Yeah, nice song. Let's check out Beautiful Language, and let's see if it was. Do this. Rank it. Can I read the song? How do I do that? I rank it and say this is great. Oh well. Okay, Beautiful Language starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This style of playing deserves a whole world of respect. It really does. Hello? Hello? I love saying hello when I'm listening to things like I've just met someone. Hello. It's a surprise thing. This will have gone totally over my head the first time I heard this song as a kid, as an 18-year-old. It's like, not only is he playing the changes and doing it well, but the changes are actually there. Very easy to listen to songs and say this was cool, but then go back to listen to it and go, well, there wasn't many chords in it. There wasn't really any changes. This is full of changes. Got throwing that Satch Legato. Right, stop there, stop. Yeah, really like that. Totally, really enjoyed that. Fun fact for you about myself: before I even had lessons on, I never had any formal lessons on guitar until I went to college. Because grew up in a poor family, we couldn't afford lessons. I was self-taught from magazines. I would read magazines and books and things I could get access to. So I was self-taught on electric guitar. And when I went to college, as part of my A levels, we were entitled to instrumental lessons. So I took the opportunity to take instrumental lessons, but rather than taking instrumental electric guitar lessons, the teacher that came to visit the school was actually a very good classical guitar teacher. And he said, while he's happy to teach me electric, in fact, he played guitar in a electric guitar in a band. His degree was in classical guitar. So I said, you know what? Let's do classical. Actually, I'm telling a lie. I had a few classical guitar lessons as well in high school, but I didn't take those very. Anyway, while I was in college, I spent a good few years studying classical guitar, and it got to a point where I took grades and I did all right playing classical guitar, but it totally got to a point where I had to stop because of two things. One of them was just how much time and energy goes into maintaining your nails for that style. But in terms of actual technique, the two things that killed me, absolutely killed me, one was tremolo technique, getting a real good tremolo roll on those fingers. Because you want those three notes to sound almost like a mandolin, like someone tremolo picking on a mandolin. Like it should just feel like they're static, right? That killed me. I could not do that. Probably could if I put more time into it, but electric guitar was more important to me at the time. And the other thing was the rasguado technique, which is the flamenco. The nail thing where you're like strum. Let's say flamenco strumming. It's hard to explain, but a rasguado technique. So since I quit classical guitar at the end of college, I've never picked up a classical guitar again. I haven't played classical guitar, not read a piece of classical music since. And obviously that there isn't straight classical guitar, but it's nylon string guitar, right? And I just have such an appreciation for anyone that clearly has an understanding of it, an understanding of that vibe, that thing. It could be guys like Chris Broderick or even Rick Graham who play classical guitar relatively well for electric guys, right? Or it could be someone like Kiko or Andre Nieri, another fabulous Brazilian guitar player. Wonderful, like he's something else entirely as well. When you watch him play classical guitar, he's phenomenal, and it's just there's a world of respect that goes out from me to guys that not only have taken that discipline, the discipline of classical guitar, nylon string guitar, to the level that these guys have, but they're also amazing electric guitar players too. Like these guys are the real deal. So yeah, that was really nice. I really did enjoy that. Beautiful language. On to In a Gentle Way, listening in 5, 4, 3, 2. Maybe a bit straight ahead. Perhaps a bit on the nose in terms of the melody, but there we go. A bit of a change. Okay. I don't remember this song. Yeah, I do. Suddenly goes Bill and Ted. Sometimes with instruments sound like jamming over a track. Yeah. I agree with that. I kind of see what you're going for with this, Paul. And I agree with you. It feels like we've written a track, like a backing track, and then he's playing a melody over the top of it. But it's nowhere near as developed as some of the earlier songs on the record. There's obviously an arrangement in there, you know. Yeah, the melody doesn't feel written. I mean, it is obviously because it it repeats and it fits the chord changes, but it feels like a first go a melody almost. Yeah, I think you could probably drop this song. It's the Satriani legato. A JTC jam, yeah. Okay. Let's be scathing. Pause that. Pause it. Stop it. No, I didn't like that song. Didn't like that song. That comment there about where was it? Yeah, Mine Seven Sharp Five saying this could be one of those JTC jams. It does kind of have that vibe to me. It's very very straight ahead, and when you compare it to a lot of these other songs that have happened on the album that bring in a lot more of that uh, Brazilian flavor to things, um, in a gentle way, just seems a bit lacking, especially as we'd actually just come from Beautiful Language, which was the classical the nylon string guitar piece, which was very nice. So yeah, I feel that one's always going to sound a little bit weak, but is what it is. So very Beatles, Dear Prudence, probably because a fair chunk of this song is solo than repeating melodies. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, not crazy on that. Okay, Dilemma in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. I'm sure I remember him playing this. Yeah, I remember him playing this live. How many first inversion chords can we throw in to move us up to the next chord? That's almost Steve Vai now. There we go, a bit more Kiko. Yeah, I don't follow all of JTC's stuff. I stopped following people when I got accused of being a stalker. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, with a touch of Romeo. Ah, that's a cool lick. That was a very cool lick. I like that. Gonna get all those thirds in the basses. Cacophony with caffeine excess. See what you mean, though. It's kind of, yeah, it's got that cacophony vibe to it. With Dragon Force on drums. Yeah, definitely one of the more metal songs on the album. The thing I remember from when I saw Kiko live, stop the track by the way. The thing I remember when I saw Kiko live is that he kept asking the audience, "Do you want me to play a rock song or do you want me to play a fusion song? Do you want another rock song or do you want another fusion song?" And back then the answer was, "I want another rock song." Whereas now I want less of that. I want more fusion. And if you like the more fusiony elements of the things he's doing, you have to go and check out the album that came after this, Universo Inverso. That one's a lot more fusiony. Don't worry, I won't be doing Sons of Apollo. Okay, let's listen to Feliz Destilação. I mean, I'm butchering these so bad it's almost racist. I apologise. 3. No, let's 5. 5, 4, 3. I'm skeptical already. Bet this was really popular on JTC. Oh, sorry. Which guys are you talking about, Paul, there? Oh, Sons of Apollo, yep. I'm not interested in any musical project that features Mike Portnoy. The switch there, it's kind of cool. But this has a jam vibe to it. I find with anything that Portnoy's involved in nowadays, it's just why bother? It's just going to be a waste of your time. Also, why would you spend any energy investing in a band that won't exist in a year? Because Mike goes on to another one. Yeah, not crazy on this at all. That would be amazing, Richard. Ooh. How's the Balvenie going down, sir? Yeah, this is weak. When we were talking about the song lacks a verse, a chorus, a bridge, etc. That's this. This is your playing over a backing track. What you said there, Paul, about you liked Flying Colours. I love the first Flying Colours album. Love that first Flying Colours album. But that's my point. Like, Flying Colours were a really, really good band. And if Portnoy just stuck with that and kept releasing Flying Colours albums rather than going, oh, what I do the Winery Dogs, oh, what I do Sons of Apollo, what I do fucking God knows how many fucking god awful bands he's done. I mean, yeah, when these whiskey stones show up. I was hoping I could have Mike over and we could drink whiskey, but obviously quarantine. So I will completely agree with you on that, Paul. This album is 3 songs too long. I think you could drop this song. You could drop In a Gentle Way. Maybe even Dilemma. But okay, stop there. Just before the last song. Foro di Crianza. Butchering it again, right? There are some great moments on this album. There really are. I'll tell you what, this song's only a minute long. Let's listen to it, and then I'll talk about the album. So, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2. I feel like he didn't even write this, because I feel I really know this. Evidently, yeah, no, this is his. What a lovely end. What a lovely, lovely end. Right, I'm going to bring me back up. So, that last piece is really nice. Like, genuinely very, very nice. And to me, that song would have been better served. I actually think that would be better served as the album opener, believe it or not. right? As an intro on the start of Inferno. Infermo. If you put that at the start of that track and you just had a minute of nice Brazilian nylon string playing to lead you in to then kicking you in the face, it's a really nice piece of music and it's just expertly executed. And it was Paul, wasn't it? Paul that said it. Yeah, Paul. So Paul said the album's 3 songs too long, and not only is it 3 songs too long, but there's a beautiful piece of music at the end of it. And the concern is because of In a Gentle Way and Feliz. Would there be another one I'd drop? Maybe. I'd definitely say at least 2 songs too long. But if I were to listen to this from start to finish, I think I'd lose. I mean, I'll be honest, I've been losing attention a little bit as it's been going on. And I think it's a shame to hide such a lovely piece of music at the end of it, because I think a lot of people may end up turning it off before it gets to that. It was a shame because it's a very nice piece of music. So, yeah, I feel like I should be doing like a playlist of absolutely killer guitar stuff, like beautiful, outrageously cool guitar stuff. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to do that now. I am going to Escaping on a playlist, and I'm going to call this playlist. I'll rename this. Ooh. Edit details. There we go. That makes sense. I'm going to just call it Killer Guitar. And over the course of these listening parties, I'm going to gradually add tracks to that and create an outrageously cool playlist of unbelievably cool guitar stuff. Okay, yeah, you could maybe drop the tapping tune. I disagree. I like the tapping tune. I just don't like the recording of the tapping tune. I think if you, like I say, if you arranged it, if you arranged it well, you could do it. You could do it. With regards to learning Escaping, Richard, there are backing tracks for it available. You can access backing tracks, and there is a tab book for this. I can probably dig that tab book out for you if I can locate that tab book. I don't have a scanner, but I can take pictures of all the tabs and send them to you if that's of interest to you. Right, let me bring my back up. Oh, my face is up. Cool. So, how did you feel about that album? What did you think about this as a format for a listening party? How did you feel about me stopping tracks and listening to, and talking about them between plays? Did you like that, or would you prefer to just listen to the album from start to finish? Let me know in that comment section below. Of course, I am reading all comments. And of course, I'm super interested in your suggestions for albums that I should do listening party streams on in future. I am going to be doing a lot more of these live streams, more YouTube videos. I've just hit a goal on my Patreon that I never thought I'd actually hit. And once I hit that amount, I'd kind of obligated myself to upload a video every single day. That's fucking hard. But I'm doing it now, so I've got to put a video up every day. Plus, I'm in quarantine, so yeah, I need to make some content. And these listening streams, while they are easy to do, they're also a lot of fun. I really, really do enjoy doing these. Really, really do enjoy doing these. So yeah, these have been fun. I guess it depends on the album. If it's one where there's a lot to say about each track, then pausing it makes sense. But I think with the Aussie albums, just playing it from start to finish made a lot more sense. So, yeah. Right, lastly, I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to supporters over on Patreon. Some names in the chat today who are supporters over on Patreon. I really appreciate your support, now more so than ever. It's been a really tough couple of weeks, and it's only going to get tougher. So anything that you have thrown my way on Patreon is very much appreciated. There is a link in the description if you would like to check me out on Patreon, along with a PayPal donate button. There's obviously super chats. What else? You can buy my music on Bandcamp, all of that good stuff. I need to say a special thanks to Chris Motes, my top supporter on Patreon. Chris, you absolutely rock. You have made a massive difference in my month this month. I cannot express how much I appreciate that. So a big, big thank you to Chris Motes. You absolutely rule, buddy. If you don't want to support me on Patreon, you can also head on over to Amazon and check out one of my books. I have several available, and you may find one that you enjoy. I was due to have a new book launch today, actually, but we're pushing it back a week to see what the situation is like with, this whole coronavirus type thing. People aren't really buying books right now, so it seems silly to launch a book when Amazon might not even be shipping them. But, we'll see where that one goes. So any last questions? Let me read last questions. Happy with the pausing. Architect of Demise says, I think it's better to get some breathing room in between tracks. Yeah, I kind of see what you mean. I hate giving people options like this because I do see the benefits of both, and I hate the idea of doing them and some people hating the way that I'm doing it. I really do. So I think I'll do it on an album by album basis. If it's a long album, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm just having fun with it. So the live scenario where I want to take part in the chat is cooler this way, but for people rewatching the stream, the experience was with the other format better. Do you think? What I need to do is I want to go back to all of those Aussie albums, and I need to do it with this one. I'm hoping to pin a comment in the comment section that lists off the track name and the time that I start listening to that track. It just involves time to sit and do all of that, but of course I've got plenty of time on my hands right now because I'm on lockdown, and that's fun. So the Great Explorers, the Frank Gambale album, and Operation Mindcrime. Yeah. Chapman style public vote. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how his business is doing with this whole corona thing. Right. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. As always, please do like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of that normal stuff. Check me out on Patreon, check me out on Amazon, all of that. Yeah. If you can't afford to, totally appreciate and understand that. Thank you so much for tuning in regardless. This isn't necessarily about... this is actually, I'm doing these to stop myself going insane, being stuck in the house, and I love engaging with you guys. I love the fact that I've been able to sit and listen to an album that I've loved for many years tonight, and I'm never going to sit and listen to an album like that in the same way that I do it when I'm doing it on a stream like this. So thank you for that, and I hope you guys got something out of that album too. I will be back again in the near future. I mean, I've got to upload a video tomorrow, but it probably won't be a listening stream. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I will. I'll see you on the other side, Paul. Yeah, of course. I'll do things that aren't rock. Much love. Talk to you soon. Goodbye.